Ah, man, I like that. Spent the day yesterday loading up some rounds for the Henry Big Boy X Model 44 Magnum. Those right there were just a 300 grain XTP hollow point with 19 grains of H110. Just loaded them up for max. But anyway, this thing has just gotten a brush down the barrel, a little bit of an oiling. She's ready to go. Today's the first shots. Amongst what I'm going to be shooting are those 300 grain XTPs. I've got a 240 grain hollow point that is cast lead. Then I have got a 265 grain that I've loaded up as a heavier subsonic. And then I've got some bunny fart loads because we're going to put a suppressor on this thing. So you guys hang tight. We'll load this thing up. We're going to play a little bit. So far, I am really liking these fiber optic sights on this one. When I shot the X Model 357, had an optic on it and didn't really get a chance to try out the fiber optics. This is nice. Let's go ahead and do 7 more of those 300 grain. Shepherd's hook starting to fall down. That is all right. So now let's go ahead and take this thread protector off. Let's play with some of these subsonic rounds that I've loaded up. I'm gonna have to go down there and set that shepherd's hook back up. That's just too much power for that shepherd's hook. All right, and so now I'm gonna do something a little odd. There are so many people that are naysayers about a suppressor. I catch a lot of hate in videos about putting a suppressor on a lever action. Well, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is show you how quiet this is from a distance. If you were a game hunter or whatever, predator hunter, I'm gonna let you see how quiet it is to actually be downrange from this thing with subsonic rounds. So hang tight. So, you were hearing the impact and not the gunshot, right? It's pretty cool stuff. That's why this is awesome. You can load these things up so that they're really slow, and literally what you'll hear downrange is the bullet impact over the sound. All right, so on these 265 jacketed soft points, I just barely didn't get an 8th round in there. That was kind of disappointing. So this thing is 7+1. Now I've turned you around so you can see me shooting the steel. These sights, one thing that I've noticed about them, if I can line this up, is you can just barely see the green dot above the suppressor. So this right here actually gets you above the Silencer Co. Octane 45 that I have here. So you actually get a pretty good sight picture out of these fiber optic sights. I like that. So let's go ahead and drop some 265 grainers on steel. That's right at 800 foot-pounds of kinetic energy out of that in a very, very quiet little package. I like it. Okay, so I've managed to get 8 of the 240 grain lead semi-wad cutters in here. They're loaded with 7.3 grains of Trail Boss. And you know, I was just a little bit annoyed the guys over here hammering and sawing, but this may actually show you, if you guys are picking up the hammering and sawing coming from about a quarter mile away, will show you exactly how quiet these are. So let's go ahead and do this. Now one for the dirt. Now let's hit a tree for Dustin Ellerman. Neat stuff. So yeah, hopefully all of that hammering and sawing showed up in there real nicely to give you a perspective as to how quiet this thing is. I'm gonna load up some more of them. I just love these bunny fart loads. Still pretty good impact, judging by the crater in that dirt. 44 Magnum suppressed is some pretty awesome stuff. So the next little neat thing that I thought to do is to place you directly between me and the steel. That way you can see if you hear the steel louder than me, or if you hear the gunshot louder than the steel. Of course, I'll drop a couple in the dirt and whatnot too. So let's do this experiment. All right, so that concludes that experiment. But man, this thing is just absolutely beautiful to shoot. I'd say it's about 60 degrees out here in East Tennessee with a slight breeze blowing. I've got a Henry Model X and I'm having a blast. I hope this is as fun for you guys to watch as it is for me to shoot. So let's set up for the next shots because I've still got ammo to burn. Okay, so I think I've ran the gamut on what this thing will feed. We've had a copper jacketed hollow point. We've had a lead flat point that was copper jacketed. We've got a lead semi-wad cutter. And now we've got just a cast lead hollow point. So that should cover most of the basic food groups for a 44. And then I've backed out to get a little bit of distance. These are not quite going to be subsonic, but they're still going to be very hearing safe. So like I said, we backed out to get a little bit more flight time on these. So let's see what we can do with these 240 grain cast lead hollow points. Suppressor Mirage is a real thing right now. The suppressor was getting warm and you can see the heat waves rising off of it. That is one place that an optic really helps a suppressed weapon. And of course you can have wraps that you can put over them too, but that'll impede your sight picture there. But anyway, seems like it feeds those. Let's go ahead and go back to the truck. So we will draw nearer to the conclusion of the video by giving you a closer look. Black synthetic stock with a nice butt pad. This mid-sized loop, I'm starting to get more used to it. Of course, the most welcomed addition is that side loading gate. That is pure magic. Really nice fiber optic sights. I'm actually getting to try them out today. And you can look at the alignment of this green right over the top of that Octane 45. You can actually see the front sight over the top of the suppressor. Now, I did have a little bit of issue with Mirage today, but I could have slowed down my shooting. And of course, there's my Octane 45 on that threaded barrel. Got M-lock, Picatinny, swivel studs. The rifle's pure magic. Now, I've picked up the majority of my brass. I still have a few errant pieces of brass laying around. I've still got a few rounds to shoot to finish out my 100 today. But man, this thing is giving me an absolute pleasure today. All right, everyone, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please remember to share it with your friends. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on that bell. All that good stuff. But the first and foremost, most important thing is I hope you stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day. We'll see you next video. Had a little bit of smoke, too much wind. We'll see you.